And I'm going to share my screen. Okay. Ms. Rinaldi, you want to get started?
Okay. Good morning. Welcome to Coffee with the Counselor. My name is Elisa Rinaldi, and also on this presentation is Susan Nadel, College and Career Counselor. I am one of the school counselors here at JP Stevens. Next. Just a few presentation reminders. This presentation will be recorded. Please keep your video and your microphone off. If you have any questions at all, just please type them in the chat during the presentation, and we will address them at the end of this presentation. The chat Q&A will be available on our website shortly with this presentation in a few days.
Mr. Osiris, please contact the main office. Mr. Osiris, please contact the main office.
So the agenda for this presentation this morning is Counseling Department Resources, the JPS Senior Scholarship and Awards Program, local and outside scholarships, and scholarship search engines. Next. So the counseling department has both school counselors and college counselors. We all work together to support your child. It's normal for children to experience stress, anxiety, and even temporary periods of depression. Learning healthy methods to reduce stress and to cope with difficult situations is all part of the child's development. School counselors are here to help. Next. In addition to the school counselors and the college counselors, we also have path counselors through a partnership with Rutgers Behavioral Health. The students should talk to their school counselor first. They can always request a meeting with their counselor by filling out a form in our office or emailing their counselor. Consulting with a path counselor is also available. These should really only be used for high-level concerns. The first conversation should be with your student's school counselor. We also have a Zen zone in the counseling office, which is a quiet place for students to come and decompress. They just need to stop in and ask. There's also some resources on this slide for outside of school. Next. JPS Senior Scholarship and Awards Program. Next. So this is a program that happens every year. There's a Google Doc that's filled out by the students. It was sent out to all students on January 21st, and it will shut down on February 22nd at 8 a.m. What this program is every year we acknowledge students for excellence in different areas in academics, athletics, career-related choices, community service, theater, and more. Next. So this senior survey Google Doc was sent to students. The only way that a student can be eligible for any of these scholarships is to complete this senior survey Google Doc. It's not that long, it's very short, it's very simple, and all they need to do is fill it out and submit it before February 22nd at 8 a.m. Next. Uh-oh. There we go. So this is the first page of the Senior Scholarship and Awards application. Basically, it spells out what the program is. In June, JP Stevens hosts an annual ceremony at which time many of our deserving seniors are recognized for their contributions to our school and the surrounding community. The scholarships and awards are sponsored by various JPS departments as well as local organizations and businesses. Students will be acknowledged for their achievement in many different disciplines, such as excellence in theater, performance in athletics, community service, academic success, outstanding leadership. Some awards may be based on a student's college major or career choice, such as teaching, law, culinary arts, hotel management, automotive, health fields, law enforcement, plumbing, and heating, and many, many more. We anticipate over 150 special awards will be provided this year, with scholarship money awarded to the senior class totaling over $70,000. So it's a great program. Students just simply need to fill out the Google Doc to be eligible. It's kind of like buying a lottery ticket. If they're not in it, they have no chance of getting any kind of scholarship. Next. Again, the Senior Awards presentation will be awarded on Senior Awards Night, which is scheduled for Thursday, June 2nd. Details will follow for all considered. And again, the awards will be sponsored by JPS departments, local organizations, and businesses, and it totals over $70,000. So it's definitely a worthwhile program. Make sure you tell your child to look for the Google Doc that was sent to them on January 21st, fill it out, get it completed by February 22nd. Next. And now we'll turn it over to Ms. Nadel.
Okay, I'm going to talk about, start off with talking about the outside local scholarships. Now, what that means is those are scholarships that are awarded on senior scholarship awards night, but they are a separate application that has to be filled out. And those applications are available, and all the information about those scholarships are on the JPS scholarship webpage. And I will show you where that is in 1 second. But there are a number of scholarships. The Robin Cohen Scholarship for student athletes, the ETEA has a scholarship, the ETEA Future Scholarship, and of course, there are the PTA, PTSO scholarships that are also associated, which will be posted on the scholarship page, and I'll show you where that is. So in order to find our scholarship page and our current scholarship listings, you basically go on to the JPS home counseling homepage, and on the homepage, if you'll notice, you scroll down on the right-hand side, financial aid and scholarships. You click on that, and then it brings you to a place where on the top of that page, it says current scholarships. And that's where the local scholarships are found. And basically, this is the Robin Cohen. It's already been posted. If you'll notice, when I post scholarship information and scholarship information is posted, it basically tells you what the scholarship is, tells who's eligible for the scholarship, talks about the scholarship, and has links to the actual application and more information about the scholarship, mentions the deadline, and it also says when the scholarship was posted. The 3 scholarships that are presently posted on our scholarship webpage that are local scholarships, where that means that a JP student will win those scholarships. There are 3 of them, and it says leave on top, okay? It's very important that take a look at those scholarships because they are posted in a certain way. However, in order to look at new scholarships after that, you need to look below and keep looking down. And like I said, every posting has the date that the scholarship was posted, and that's important to know if new scholarships have been posted. So now I'm going to talk about the outside scholarships. And again, the outside scholarships are posted very similarly, like I said, to the other ones. The name of the scholarship, the date, this one was reposted. This one is open to 9th through 12th graders, the Cyber Start program. And basically it runs through April 27th of next year, and it gives them all the information to click on it. Then we have the Adele Blue. These are some scholarships that were posted on those dates. That's the screenshot that I took. So there have been more that I've been posting recently because I am the person that posts our scholarships, the outside scholarships. So, oops, excuse me. Okay, so outside scholarships. Now, lots of outside scholarships are available. They are merit-based, they're need-based scholarships. It's also part of financial aid. In order to be eligible for scholarships at colleges, sometimes students need to fill out the FAFSA or the FAFSA application, which is the free, and the first word of that statement is free application for federal student aid. If by any chance you find something that actually asks you to pay, that is not a government website, and all the government websites end in .gov. So the FAFSA is .gov. It's FAFSA.gov in order to find that application. In order to be eligible for some of the merit-based aid based on someone's background, it could be based on your background, it could be based on your ethnicity, the location, where you live, what you're going to study in college, career interests. There are even miscellaneous scholarships for somebody who is left-handed. There are scholarships, there happens to be a scholarship that's given out every year to students who wear duct tape to the prom and take pictures of it. So there's all kinds of interesting scholarships out there. There is also college-specific scholarships that are out there. Whereas in if you go on a college's webpage, on their financial aid page, there may be additional scholarships. Some colleges will review you for merit-based aid, and which means you don't have to pay that scholarship back. Scholarships mean that you don't have to, it's free money and you don't have to pay it back as opposed to loans. But scholarships and all of that is part of financial aid. And in that process, the colleges, a lot of them will review you for merit-based aid automatically. But in addition to that, it's possible that there are specific college-specific scholarships that are listed on either the department's page, they could be listed on the financial aid page. So what you need to do while you're doing research is look at the different colleges, look at the scholarships that are available for those students. And in terms of your child, whether they are eligible. Your employers may have scholarships. You might want to check the website of your employers. They may have scholarships available for children of employees. There are lots of community-based scholarships, everything from the Rotary to Unico to Coca-Cola, and there are many, many more different kinds of scholarships that are out there. So you can take a look at those anytime you want. So where do you find those scholarships? Like I said before, colleges' websites, financial aid offices, automatically considered. Some of them you need to, sometimes you're automatically considered, sometimes you need to apply, depends on the scholarship. And there may be a separate application involved in addition to your application to the college to apply for those scholarships. Departmental awards, outside, like I said before, we list our stuff on the JPS website. It's important. And there are also scholarship search engines, which I'm going to talk about in a minute. Some scholarships have essays and additional information that students have to complete. Others, you just simply register and we've had students who actually just registered for things and ended up winning money. For example, last year we had a student who did the College Board Scholarship and filled out the documents that needed to be done and registered, won $500, just like that. So that happens every so often, and that's a great way for students to get extra money. So let me talk a little bit about search engines. There are many search engines, and those are available if you go to the financial aid and scholarship page on the counseling webpage. You'll see that there are resources for financial aid and scholarships. And these are a number of sites, and there's links to those sites where you would then register. Now, when you register for example, if you notice towards the bottom, there's something called Fast Web. If you register on that, you put in all your information and they send information to you with regard to different scholarships that are available, that you're eligible for. This is a list of free scholarship search engines. There's 11 of them listed here that are available. Another one that's a big one that we also use is on the top, the first one listed here, Going Merry. We had a student last year who won a scholarship using the GoingMerry.com scholarship site. These are search engines. And there's a couple of tips that I'm going to tell you about when you do these search engines and register. If there's a fee for a scholarship or a search engine, don't use it. There are plenty of free ones that you don't have to pay for. My suggestion in terms of doing scholarship searches and using the search engines, I suggest that, and I learned this from personal experience, by the way, with my son. He registered for some scholarship stuff, a scholarship search engine, and I did as well for him. And what ended up happening was I kept getting emails in my inbox long after he graduated from college until I deleted the site from my things, because they will continue to send you scholarship information. So my suggestion is have your child create a separate email that they can, Gmail account, that they can use to register for scholarship search engines. And that way they can choose when they want to see those scholarships. and whether they want to look at the scholarships and decide whether or not they want to apply for them. Basically, what they're asking you to do is complete a profile. So you basically put in information about who you are, your ethnicity, what things, for example, what major you want to study, where you live, a variety of different information about yourself, and you receive lots of different scholarship opportunities, some of which you have to complete, and some of them have requirements where you'd have to write an essay, provide your tax return, a copy of the tax return. Sometimes you don't, depends on it. Pay attention to the deadlines. And basically it's confusing. I actually recommend that you create a spreadsheet because there's multiple search engines and lots of scholarships posted on. Did I apply for that one? Did I not apply for that one? What should I do? So as your student applies for scholarships or looks at scholarships, they should list them. And that way, wait a minute, I saw this one already. Because if you're doing multiple search engines, it gets very confusing because a lot of the scholarships are posted on multiple search engines. So in order to organize yourself, create a spreadsheet. These are the scholarships. These are what I had to do. This is the deadline. This is the date. This is when I should hear back from that scholarship. And that way there is an organization to it in the process in order to earn more money. Basically, that is the gist of our presentation. We are going to open up to answer questions. And basically, let me take a look in the chat and see what we've got going on forward. Actually, I'm going to take a look here. Okay. The Google Doc that's available, basically the question is, do juniors submit a Google Doc or just seniors? Actually, I'm going to stop sharing my screen. The answer to that question is that the senior scholarship list is that Google Doc is only for seniors. We invited juniors to this meeting because we want you to get a jump on this process, as well as be aware that this is something that your son or daughter is going to be dealing with next year as a senior, because this is a process that we go through every year. So we decided let's invite the junior parents as well, so you can get a jump on it. The same way we invited as the senior parents that are here, were invited last year when we did this last year. We kind of are trying to give you a leg up and get you a jump on things, help you get a jump on things. Okay. The FAFSA is something that's filled out only in senior year, and it's only available, basically, it's open for the class of 2020. Right now, it's open to the class of 2022. The class of 2023 will be available after October 1st of 2022. The new FAFSA opens October 1st. So it's only that's the answer to that question. So it is not for juniors, it's only for seniors. Someone's asking a question about the scholarships that were available. Yes. I post on our scholarship webpage, I post new information as it comes in. I just posted some stuff in the last couple of days. So there are some new things that are not available. Yes, there were some, if you go back a ways down the list, you'll see stuff that's already been closed. But if you're a junior parent, if you take a look at that information, now you've got a leg up to think about for next year. This is a scholarship I should be looking for next year. So I leave it up. I don't take things off until the end of the year for a reason. So that way you can, if you go back and say, oh, wait, here's a scholarship that you're going to qualify, that my son or daughter is going to qualify for. So that way you can get a heads up on a scholarship to look for it when it comes out next year. That's part of the reason. There is a great question. The question is there a limit to the number of scholarship applications that a student can apply for? The answer is no. You can apply for as many scholarships in general as you would like, and to pay for school. Absolutely. The more money you get. The only caveat to that is that sometimes in some situations, financial aid, if you are eligible for that financial aid, may be adjusted based on the amount of scholarships that you receive. So it's a balance in terms of the information. But no, you can apply for as many scholarships as you want. And that there are people out there that have basically covered their full tuition, room and board, everything through scholarships. It is doable. It's a lot of work, and it's a good organizational things to do, but it definitely can be done.
One of my daughters actually did that, covered 1 year of her college with scholarships. A lot of essays writing, but it's doable.
Okay, question is, for college scholarships where kids have got accepted by EA, early action, that means early action, when should they be applied? I mean, I think the question is after enrolling or even before. The answer to the question is if they're planning on applying and going to a specific school, that's where when you should apply. When you're talking about the school-related scholarships, you should be applying, you should follow the deadlines and see when the applications are due in terms of it. So example, if the deadline to apply for a specific scholarship is before the May 1st deadline, which is the candidate replied, the date students have to tell the college they are applying to, that they are going to, absolutely, they would be applying before they enroll in the school, absolutely, to be eligible for those scholarships. So yes, and it could, I guess, make a decision, if a student gets a scholarship from school A, and they're thinking between school A and school B, and school A comes through with more money because the student received a scholarship from that school, it might influence the final decision that student makes. That's a family decision in terms of that process. Next question. The question is if students should apply for the FAFSA. All permanent residents and citizens are eligible to complete the FAFSA application, which is the free application for federal student aid. So you have to be either a citizen or permanent resident in order to be eligible to get FEDA. And FAFSA stands for federal, it's federal money. There's also state money that comes through what's called HESA, which is the New Jersey arm of that. When you fill out the FAFSA, as long as you are a citizen or a permanent resident, you are automatically looked at for New Jersey state money as well. Now, mind you, New Jersey has passed a law, and it's one of the few states in the country where even if you are, as long as you're a resident of the state of New Jersey, even if you are a visa holder and your child is under your visa, they are eligible for in-state tuition, even if you are a citizen of another country. Good question. If someone recently moved to the US, the question is if someone recently moved to the US and is in the US for the first year, as an 11th grader, that person will be a resident of this country, and depending upon your specific status, I don't know the answer to that question because I don't know your status, but if a student lives in the United States for a year, and if they are a green card holder, they are eligible for scholarships and financial aid and so forth. Schools offer scholarships to international students as well, but you'd have to check on their website what schools offer scholarships for international students. And some schools are better at giving that money to other students. Great question. Can a student get the same scholarship for more than 1 year? The answer to that question is it depends upon the scholarship. Sometimes they're one-time awards. Sometimes they are multiple year awards. Lots of times when a student is given merit aid, it's given for all 4 years, as long as the student maintains a certain GPA while they're in school. Every scholarship is different. Every school is different. You'd have to determine what it is, but a lot of times when students receive merit aid, it's given for 4 years. Say, for example, a student gets $10,000 a year for, I'm making the numbers easy. So $10,000 a year for 4 years, as long as they maintain a 3.0 GPA. That's pretty much of a basic, lots of colleges will do that when they're giving merit aid to students, but you have to maintain it. If you go below that number, you're going to lose the scholarship for the following year. You can also appeal and possibly get that money back if the GPA goes back up again, but it depends upon the school, how they do it. Does the JPS website for scholarships have a dollar amount you're eligible for? There is no dollar. Every scholarship is different, so the dollar amount is different per scholarship. There is, and it will list on the, I try very hard to list how much money is available on that scholarship. I'm enticing students because students are looking at this. Well, also, if they see it's a, a small amount of money, they may not apply. I try to list how much money is involved. Sometimes the students get a little, as we get closer to the spring and so forth, they get, they've been filling out, completing essays and doing applications, and now they got to apply for scholarships too. And now they have to write more essays. It's a possibility. And sometimes students will say, well, it's not worth it to me to do it for this much because I'm now working on getting ready for my AP tests and so forth, or completing my senior year. I think I've answered all the questions. Are there any more questions? This presentation will be posted on our website afterwards. I see another question coming in. I'll answer that in a minute. Will be posted on our website in a few days. Basically, if you have any questions, you can reach out to myself. I'm the college and career counselor for students whose homerooms end in an odd number. Ms. Silverberg is my colleague, and she is the college and career counselor that represents the students whose homerooms end in an even number. You can also reach out, absolutely, because we work in partnership with the school counselors, to your child's school counselor to ask questions as well. They are a wealth of information, just like we are. So please do not hesitate to do that for us.
And please remember to have your child fill out the senior survey so that they can have a chance to be eligible for some scholarship money there as well.
Right.
February 22nd, 8 a.m. That's the deadline. It will shut down, and then they will no longer have access to that survey.
I'm reading another question that just came in. I will answer this question offline because somebody's asking me a specific question. So I will reach out to the parent on that question. One of these questions, let me see. Are there tax implications from scholarships granted? There could be. It is possible, but not for you as the parent, because the scholarship is to the student. So it's connected to the tax implication is for the students, depending upon the student situation. So it's because the scholarship is not given to you as a parent, it's given to the student. So if there is a tax implication on that, it would be for the student, not for the parent. And that depends upon the scholarship. Somebody's asking about state scholarships. State scholarships, first preference, the out-of-state ones. State scholarships, are we talking about, I'm not quite sure if you mean state grants, which would be the TAG grant money. That's the state money for financial aid in terms of it. It's not a scholarship per se, it's a grant. And it's basically when you fill out the FAFSA, you were automatically looked at for whether you were eligible for grant money from the state, which is the TAG money through HESA. So are state scholarships first preference than out-of-state ones? I'm not quite sure I understand the question. There will be, the question someone is asking is, will this information about the scholarship link? All this information is basically on if you go to the JPS website, go to the counseling page of the JPS website, all this information will be posted. This presentation will be posted there for you to look at. If you have any questions, you can always send an email to myself, Ms. Rinaldi, or send it to your child's school counselor, and we will be happy to send you links and so forth with regard to that information. February 22nd is the date that the senior scholarship survey will be closed. That deadline is February 22nd at 8 a.m. Your child has to complete the application by that date. I am actually going to put something in the chat, and I will put the link in the chat. So. I'm trying to chat this to everyone in the meeting. Okay. Okay, I just posted the website for the counseling homepage for everyone. Okay. And that basically, I think that concludes. Any questions? Any final thoughts for anyone? Again, this will be posted on our website shortly. If you have any other questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to anyone in our office. We'll be very happy to assist you in the process of looking for scholarships. Have a great day.
Thank you for joining us.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.